Here, one second. All right. Awesome. Good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So this week we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to this week's series we're going to be doing tracking this week's Elliott wave, and we're basically just going to be looking at SPX this week because we want to really see, kind of go through together to see how this wave plays out. And we'll get to it, and it'll be fun, right? So we'll look at some alt counts on it and see if that ends up taking the lead, or we'll go with the main count that we're working on right now and see if that takes the lead, and we'll see where we finish up the week. I think it'll be pretty fun. So good stuff there. Before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. So what we'll do is we'll take a look and see where we left off in the market today, and then we'll take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. And then we will go through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX up 90 points today. Woo! What a move. So we were actually predicting a wave 3 up here. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit more detail here today. And it really seems like we got that going. So pretty interesting stuff there, especially with the gap up here. We finished last month with kind of this shooting star candle, but this huge gap up here is really pretty phenomenal here to start the month off. Weekly chart inside week, right? So let's see if we can push above last week's highs and maybe get up to all-time highs up here. Daily chart, this is the wave that we're tracking, but what we're going to do today is we're going to get into the nitty-gritty in this and start to look at maybe a couple potential other wave counts that could be on there. Remember, we can only really get the most confidence in Elliott wave when it's basically impossible to find another wave count, right? When there's only rule breakers. That helps give us the best confidence. Otherwise, we kind of go with what we go with what we got to go with, right? So, but anyway, nice reversal here today. Great push, great move over the 80 MA right here. It looks like this could be an ABC retrace, and we may be starting that wave 3 up. If we do, right, we'd see a wave 3, wave 4, and then ultimately a wave 5 of 5, right? So we'll continue to track this one and see where we go from there. We'll take a look at it in a little more detail later, Elliott wave-wise. Okay, but the intraday price action, again, a good push at the open here today, and that was about it, right? So they kind of gave that big move right there, and there was a lot of kind of just grindy sideways action here today, and then they gave one more dip by, right, for a little bit of a push into the end of the day, and then they pulled it back into the close to make it a little bit trickier. But so it's all about just kind of being a part of that opening move, and if you missed it, it's okay. There was not a lot of stocks. Normally when we have a big gap up like this in the market, a big push, a lot of times I like to focus on the stock names, and there wasn't too much going on. We did point out Apple today, which is nice, but there wasn't a whole lot of momentum movers today. It took a while for sectors to kind of catch up with the rest of the market, and it made it a little bit tricky here today. But it's okay, right? It's still it gives us a valid count or an interesting count to work with. So let's take a look at the S&P futures and see how they behaved or how they're behaving here this evening. So really choppy, right? So this is one of the big levels right here. One of the things that we talked about, you see all this clear air here between this space and this space. In our game plan today in the bubble report, from the bubblereport.com, in our morning newsletter, what we put in here is a game plan for our futures, and what we said is we can get over this 3870 level, right? There's a lot of nice clear air between this level and this level. We might be able to just kind of fill that like a vacuum, right, and get to the next level, and that's what happened here today. They ended up pushing back off it and kind of get into it, but this was really key for us to this move between these two levels right here. So that definitely helped us keep with sentiment today. So good stuff there. But as you can see here, after hours, we are still just kind of chopping and grinding here. So a couple levels that you kind of want to keep on the radar. Obviously, we broke out of that big geometric level earlier. But let's see how this holds here as potential support. We've got this geometric level right here, right? And you can kind of take this out even farther and kind of go here and say, hey, we're kind of losing that right now, kind of slowly. And then we'll see if we can get back above that level here. So a couple interesting levels here, getting tight, and we'll track it and see where we are in the morning. So good stuff. So like I said, this week what we're going to be doing is we're going to be tracking this week's Elliott wave. So hopefully you guys find this a fun series. We're basically going to go day by day, and we're going to explore a bullish count and a bearish count, and we're going to see as we progress to see how those end up working out by the end of the week. So I think you guys will enjoy it. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the SPX and see what's going on. So the big thing we already talked about this already, right, is kind of the macro move, right? When we're setting up Elliott waves, one of the things we always want to do is, get the bigger picture, right? See what's going on, right? So obviously, you have to ask yourself, are we in a bullish move or are we in a bearish move? Well, clearly we're in a bullish move, right? Because we're going up, and we've been going up for a while. A lot of times using trend lines can help with this, or channels. This trend line, we are still above the macro upward trend line. So again, like I always like to say, we're bullish until proven otherwise, as we're above that. And from there, we can look for bullish wave counts, right? So that's why I'm generally leaning bullish on the market right here. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not trying to start another wave down, right? So so this is just kind of one of those things that we're tracking right here. But to get to this area right here, we had a big push up, right? We had a big push up from the Corona lows, right? And then we had this nice ABC correction right here. And then we clearly had an impulsive move up after the ABC, right? So it's a gap after gap after gap. It's kind of a wild move right there. And then we had this really tight ABC wave 2 and this kind of grindy wave 3 up, right? And this wave 4. And then we're expecting a wave 5 move up after this. So we think we're in wave 5. Okay, so there's two possibilities right here. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go through this count, and then I'm gonna show an alt count on this one, and then we'll track this throughout the week. So this is the first count right here. That this push up was wave 1, and then that this could be an ABC wave 2, and that right now with today's impulsive move that we're working on a wave 3 up. So we're gonna go with that as the first possible count. I'm leaning on this one because it fits our bullish trend. We're still over the upper trend line, still over the 50-day moving average, and still generally working our way up. So what we'll want to do now is go to the shorter term time frame and start to work on this count, right? So if we finished here with a wave C, this is kind of the A move, the B move, the C move, then you can see here that this looks like we talked about this last night, right? That this looks like a golden zone retrace right here, right to that golden zone between the 618 and the 786. So what that means is that this is very possibly now a subwave 1, right, of the subwave, right, because everything is fractal here. So subwave 1, right, and then that 618 pullback right here is your wave 2, subwave 2, and then now we're really just trying to see if this is a potential wave 3 up. So of this subwave. So, or is it just the beginning, or is it just the first leg of it, right? So one of the things we can do here is look at, go to the shorter term time frames and try to get a count on this, right? So we can see here, this is a wave 1 up, right? They kind of, ABC wave 2 pullback right here into the close on Friday, and they trapped all the shorts in there, and then squeezed them out here this morning, right? So that makes sense. Okay, so the real question is how far is this going to go? Well, we already saw that this was a 618 retrace, or the golden zone retrace in here. So what we want to do is basically just kind of track this and see where we're going to get a wave 4 pullback. Now, I'm not saying that this wave 3 is done, right? So at all, right? Because this really, we haven't seen any retracement yet. But eventually, once this move is done, it's going to pull back at some point. Now, the real question is where. So the most common area for a pullback on this is the 382 for a wave 4, right? So if this happens, right, and this was your wave 3 up, it's tough to count a wave 3 on this one, but it's possible that, because each wave is going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We really just didn't get a wave 2 pullback in this wave 3. So we may be working on that first. Okay, so that's those are two possibilities right here, right? So so one of the things that we may see is that we may see a 618 retrace. If we do, then this wave would overlap wave 1 if we get to the 618. So it's possible that this wave may want to work itself a little bit higher before pulling back. So this is going to kind of be like its quick move up. So let's kind of keep an eye on this and see how it goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to track this and see how it goes going into the rest of this week. But if we do get a pullback, kind of an ABC pullback to the wave 2 right here, we would look at that being a subwave 4. Okay, and then we'd look for it to finish this wave up here for at least the first move. So this would be a 5 of 1, right? So or a 5 of 3, just say here. A smaller subwave 3, right? We'll have to just check and see what how to denote it as we get closer if we take those levels. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's now do a new take on this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new one called default. I'm just going to call this default 2. So we can just kind of use this. Okay, so that's a pretty good bullish count right there for the SPX. But let's take a look, right? So that's not necessarily the wave count, right? So we can always look and see what another possibility may be. So one of the things that could happen here, right? This wasn't exactly really a huge wave 3 up, right? It wasn't, it was, wave 3 is normally impulsive. It wasn't really a big wave 2 down, right? It's kind of rare, right? Normally we'd expect a pullback here and 618 and then go. And however, this wave 4 is still counted, right? Never intersected wave 1, so the wave is good. And it's basically what we're seeing is that it's possible that maybe this is not the start a wave 1 of a wave 5, and this actually was a wave 5. Right, so let's just kind of take a look at this right here. This is the alt count, and so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to delete a couple of these things here, and I'm going to delete this, delete this, delete this. Now we are back over the ADMA, so right, that is interesting. So it is possible, like I said, it is possible that let me get rid of these, and this. Okay, so instead of a wave 4 pullback, it's possible this is a truncated wave 5. This is a truncated 5th. Okay, so this is the alt count. All right, this is an alt count. There's probably some other counts on this one too, right? It's not until you can eliminate all counts do we really start to get, super duper confident in the wave counts, right? There's some indicators that we can use, RSI, things like that, ADMAs, moving averages, stuff like that to help us with our counts. But again, it's possible here that this pullback, right, was actually a wave 1 pullback, right? So that we could have a wave 1 right here, right? So that's possible, right? So we could have a subwave 1 pullback right here, and this could have been a retrace. This could be a wave 2, right? Now this, I mean, obviously, I don't think this has as high a probability as the other one. It looks like a cleaner ABC down. But then what we could see right here is that this was another wave 1, right? So this could be a subwave 1 right here. So subwave 1, and this today was actually could have just been a pullback, right? A subwave 2 pullback, right? If you look at it, if we go here from our Fibonacci's, we have this, right, to these lows right here. I mean, it got into the 786 area right here, so it's still a valid wave 2. And this could have started another fresh wave right here. And then we got back to the 886 again for another wave 2. Right, so it could be a 1-2-1-2 working its way to the downside, right? Trying to gear up for a bigger downside move. The bears would love that, right? But we don't know yet, right? We don't exactly know whether this count's going to hold valid or the other count's going to hold valid. But did this not? Oh no, did this not save as another name? Hold on one second. Hopefully it's saved here. Oh no, did I just mess up my wave count? It's fine, I can always put it on later. Hold on, should I pull it up? There we go. Oh no, it ended up, so it made this one the original. That's fine. Okay, cool. So I ended up editing the wrong one, but it's okay. Either way, we'll still work with these, and I'll just save this as another one later, and we'll mess with it as we go on. So, but anyway, these are the possible wave counts. These are 2 possible wave counts going into this week. So we're going to track those going into this week, and we'll see where we're at tomorrow, what kind of price action we get, and we'll see where this wave count takes us. So good stuff. All right, well, hopefully you guys found that helpful. And at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug them in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. All right. So David's sending a couple requests right here. So we've got good evening. Hope you're doing well. Let's see AMC. Let's take a look at it. So I'm going to go to the daily charts on these, and we'll see what we got. So sorry, I always type AMD. My fingers don't know the difference sometimes. Yeah. So AMC looking pretty interesting right here, right? So we had a huge push right from $1, right? And then you had this huge move up right here, and we basically are off of this 786 move, right? And so we got a potential fresh wave up right here. So that could be a wave 1. This could be an ABC wave 2, or we could be working on a larger wave down, right? It could be kind of a zigzagish type move. This could be A, this could be B, and we might see a C wave down here. But so far off of this last push up, we're kind of holding the 618. So it looks kind of interesting going into earnings. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, earnings could be interesting if they could have horrible expectations and still beat it. But one of the good news with AMC is they're starting to open some more movie theaters, right? So they opened up in New York. But again, one of the hard parts about them continuing to get people to watch, right, is you actually have to have some movies out there that people want to go out and see. So that's one thing that's missing out there right now. But we'll keep an eye on it and see. It'd be really interesting to see how it goes into earnings and see what type of guidance they give. So it sounds to me that like they're trying to look positive into the future. That hey, we're opening up theaters and we're hoping to provide great entertainment, to stuff like that. So let's see how the conference call goes and where we go from there. So good stuff. LPTH, let's take a look. So LPTH getting tight. Right, so one of the things you kind of want to look at right here is just kind of keep an eye on these geometrical angles. It's always tough to trade in the middle of a triangle, right? So until you can get some confirmation out one way or the other. So see if we can break out here with some volume or break down there with some volume too. And it looks like it's kind of choppy there after hours too. So good stuff there. And then CRC, let's take a look. California Resources, there you go. Yeah, so another interesting name right here. Again, here's your kind of your recent trend, right? So kind of held that right here. If you just kind of tag this line right here, you can see you got a nice geometric line right there. So see how that holds here. It could be working on a bit of a, it's got a little bit of a top right here. Let's kind of track that. And then see how that geometrical is. So getting to tighten those ranges, look for some volume over those levels and see if it gives us a move. But good stuff, yeah, and awesome. Thanks for tuning in. And Shirley, yeah, sending a few in via email. Hope you're doing great out there. Let's take a look at Dkng. Again, a huge push on this one here, guys. it's continuing to work its way up after hours. Again, this is a tricky one, right? We don't like to really go long on strong breakout candles. I know it's crazy, but when you look at something like Boeing, right, you'll understand why, right? Because there's a strong breakout candle right here, and then there's all this mess, right? So we got to be careful with that, and we've done some series on that before. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd like to see a nice little pause doji day tomorrow, and then if we get a nice pause day, that might be a good day to enter to see if this thing's ready to work its way up. Again, we had a pretty bullish wave count on that one going into yesterday. So we'll see if we get any follow through on that. Fast, a nice candle right here. I like how we got over the 50-day. Again, same thing. Let's see if we can push over today's highs. Zoom. Again, nice move on this one. We had earnings after hours here, and it looks like it's holding up pretty well. So again, they crushed on earnings right here. Nice beat on that one, almost double the expectation. So good stuff there. Good guidance, right? So if we're gapping up here at 444, that's going to bring us here tomorrow. 444. So that's right now. It's really tricky, guys. This might turn into a reversal tomorrow. Watch out for that level. If we can't clear 451.77, we could see some reversal action on Zoom tomorrow. So again, to get over here, we might see a little bit of a technical gap and go to try to get here to this 486 level. Other than that, it might just be like choppy or a reversal candidate. So a little bit of caution off of that. C, let's take a look here. So C, again, nice push on this one. Again, the bank's still holding strong out there. I think the Fed speaker today said the banks are strong right now, so everything's awesome. So again, nice push over this level right here with increasing volume. So again, C looks pretty good, nice little cup right there. Keep an eye if it does pull back, it might still give like a kind of a cup and handle type move. So another one to keep an eye on there too. But we'll see if it continues to have strength. Again, we've been definitely tracking the XLF today. That's a good one to look at. And then Wi-Fi. So Boingo. So good stuff there. Yeah, big push off of that one here. Again, kind of hung into it. I like how it got. See how it cleared those levels. That's kind of what I'm hoping for Zoom, if it can get up there in the morning. Otherwise, it might reverse. It's got a lot of work to do at this point right now, so just kind of see how it holds the gap going into the next couple days. But great find on that one. Nice one. Good stuff. Flip, what's going on? Yeah, let's get that impulse up. Let's go. I love it. So let's take a look here. So let's see. So you got LRCX. Let's take a look. Yeah, so LRCX looking good right here with the inside day up. Again, wild range on this one. But a big push getting close to the recent highs. Nice stuff there. OSTK. Let's see how that's looking right there. OSTK, again, nice reversal back up to the 50-day moving average. Let's see if we can get above it and stay above it. And good stuff there. Michael Fellas, SOS, I know, epic. Look at this thing going after hours. Big move right here. My whole concern to this one was like, okay, well, upper shadow off the ADMA. Well, they didn't really seem to care after hours right here. Was there any news on that after hours? Nothing. Just going. I know they responded to the Hindenburg report, right? Anyway, but good stuff right there. Big move after hours on that one. So again, this could be a wild one here, guys. Now, if we had a red candle, we were gapping above that. That could be a nice professional gap, and we'd look to do a nice push on that one as the shorts get squeezed out in the morning. But other than that, right, we're just gonna kind of keep an eye on it and see where we open in the morning. But great find on that one, SOS. I love it. You swung that peak fear. I love it from Friday. Great job. Oh yeah. Well, if you're long from Friday, you're good. We definitely pointed out some good names like that, like Apple, stuff like that. But good stuff there. MVIS. Let's take a look. MVIS, yeah, another nice one there too. Nice, a lot of Morningstar reversals. So you got a Morningstar reversal on that one. Morph, look at that one. Oh wow, big push on that. Incredible move today. Now that's what I call a gap and go. All right, so this is the one you want to get in here, right? So again, cleared this level right here, cleared that pivot level, gapped above it, and just went, right? So what you typically like to do, right, is you like to look for a nice hammer candle like this at the open, right, to get long. And that was just a beautiful, beautiful move on that. So it's a great stuff right there. But wild move on that one. Beautiful candle. Good find. I need to find one of those. Apple, yeah, and again, a beautiful candle on this one today too. Nice inside day up, piercing the cloud. I would like to have seen a little more volume on it. It's still downtrending, right? That's the hard part about it. But we were expecting a nice move up. So let's see if we can get back above that downward trend line and try to continue to confirm above that. So good stuff there. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so Boeing. Goodness gracious, this thing's just... I'm done counting this one. I'm done with the Elliott wave count. It's too complex. But it is holding its geometric line right now. So let's see how that goes today. Again, epic squeeze today, right? Nasty close. Everybody got caught, right? And it gave a big push at the open. So as the, anybody who's short got squeezed up. And then it kind of came back to reality a little bit, right? I mean, but one of the news on it was that apparently United Airlines is buying more 737 Maxes. So there you go. So how about we don't fly United Airlines? So good stuff there. And then CCL, but it's a shame, right? Because they don't really have a choice. There's no competition out there. So no competition, right? So quality competition is important for quality. CCL, again, a gap up there and back into the inside day range. I'd be careful with this one, Mike. just in case it wants to come back down and test the inside day low, right? It never held above the inside day, so a little bit of caution off of that one into today as well. Yeah, I know, yeah. A little cringe face on that one for sure. Alexis, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look. So you got DJ? Oh, the Dow Jones? Are you looking for the, or are you just calling me DJ? The DJI? Yes, the Dow Jones Industrial Average again strong here today over the ADMA, so good stuff there. Robbie, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so SE. Again, this thing loves to just break out of these channels, right? So channels for a while, and then it breaks out and moves. So now it's kind of coming back in that channel range right here. Again, this is the geometric level that we were holding. We had a little spinning top off of it, gapped up to the ADMA. So let's see if we continue to work its way above that. And cool one, what's going on? Long time no see. Hope you're doing great. Thanks for tuning in. Michael, OSS. Another big candle on that one. Big one. Nice find there, too. ZEK, XOM. Let's take a look. Yeah. So XOM, we had a lot of call activity on this one today, but they really couldn't hold it, right? So it was mostly at the open. Good push right here. It wasn't exactly a clean chart here today. Even the 5-minute candle was kind of blah. You had a nice hammer right here for a pop, and that was about it. And then a little bit of a 15 orb move on it. But other than that, it was tricky. So I'd be careful with it, right? There's, like I said, there's a lot of call activity, but they could get moved out very, very possibly, right? So snow's been a tricky one too. Nice candle here today as well. Earnings coming up too. So let's see if, right now it's just kind of banging onto the ADMA. So let's see how it holds there. It is up after hours though, which is nice. W. Huge candle today, big inside day up on that one, so definitely look for follow through there. And TTD, again, a nice hammer candle there to get to the 50-day, so let's see if we can push above there. So yeah, what's going on? Let's take a look at PLTR. Yeah, so PLTR, guys, again, once we invalidated, right, so we had that ABC down, right, so that was the ABC down, and then we had that push up right there. Remember Kathy, right, started buying it with that nice push up, and we were looking here for the 786 retrace or the 618, right? We were hoping that that's where we'd go, that we kind of gap down here, and then we'd bounce, right, for a 1, 2, 3, and we just couldn't get that, right? And so it invalidated. And so at this point now, we're kind of looking at a bearish count, right? So, I mean, it's possible that we had the zigzag move down. We could be looking at a larger wave, corrective wave. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and we might actually be seeing another 5th wave down, right? So this could be 4, and this could be kind of 1, 2, and then this might be a 1, 2. Right, so just keep an eye on PLTR. I'm actually going to probably put it on the bearish radar tonight. So just based on that larger wave 3 down potential. So good stuff there. Good, appreciate it, guys. Awesome. So 2020, what you got? So you got BRPHF. Let's take a look. Yeah, Galaxy Digital, nice candle on that one too. Yeah, strong move today. Good. And then EBON, let's take a look. EBON, yeah, so we've been tracking this one as well, right? So we wanted to see if this one would work its way to retrace up here, right? To kind of get to the, test the gap, and then see how it holds from there. Again, I'm still generally, after that area, I want to see how it holds, and then kind of a little bit bearish after that. But again, it's still climbing its way up now. SLGG, Super League Gaming, okay. Nice spinning top there off the ADMA, so let's see which way we go from there. And then, of course, GMBL, let's take a look. Still tight in that triangle that we drew last week, so let's see how that holds there. Steve, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Google. Yeah, so old Google. Look at that. So potentially working on kind of a funky, let me get the trend line tool up here. Potentially working on a funky bull flag. Right? So just kind of keep an eye on that here. Let's see if we can break above it with some volume, right? So looking interesting there. You got a little bit of an invisible flagpole in there, but looking interesting on Google. Definitely been strong recently. Nitin, what's going on? Going to see a PLTR. There you go. So PLTR, we just went through it, right? So I'm looking at a potential. This could have been wave 1, 2, right? And this could be a 1, 2 here. So just a little bit of caution off of this, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because it never came back over that that move right there. And then we could be working on a 5th wave down on PLTR. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on there. Great, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. APPN, let's take a look. So APPN, again, nice push right there. Good. Back up to the ADMA. Strong candle today. VUZI. Let's say a VUZI, again, another huge candle in that one. Really close to the highs. So let's see how that goes right there. APPS. So let's see. So, yep, nice move right there. Getting close to its highs as well. Love. Let's take a look. Yep, nice move right there. Okay, so getting close to the recent highs. VIV. Okay, VIV back over the ADMA there today, and earnings coming up. So let's see how that goes right here. I know Kathy's been buying a bunch of that one. Band. Okay, this one just pulled back here, so it's just tagging the 200-day for now. So let's see how that holds that. Maybe they'll try to bounce it off of it. Silvergate could be interesting. Nice push over the ADMA there with some a decent candle right there. Looks like a Morningstar reversal. Skills with the inside day up and over the ADMA, so that's looking awesome here. Square. Guys, news after hours on Square. They're opening their own bank, right? And since they're a payment processor and they have their own bank, That could be pretty good right there. So in-house bank kicks off operations. So got a nice little spike there after hours on this one. So pretty cool there. It was under the ADMA hammer today, low volume. But let's see how it handles that gap up tomorrow. See where it hits. We're at 250 right now, which is not really major. So if it doesn't hold, watch for a potential pullback on that one. ZBRA, let's take a look. ZBRA getting close to the high. Wow, that thing's really moved a lot this year. Wow, or last year. Cool. Continuing to grind its way up. You love it. And then Fiverr. Fiverr, yeah, hanging in there. So good volume today. Back over the 80 minutes. Let's see some follow through on that one. And Roku acquiring Nielsen Advertising. So this was a decent pop after hours on this one here too. So wouldn't be surprised if it tried to make another push to get to all-time highs. Not necessarily tomorrow, but we'll see if it goes. So good stuff. Thanks, Creighton. I appreciate it. Wenji, what's going on? Thank you. I appreciate it. Bullish and bearish trades. What's going on? Just ask 10 different tickers. I love it. So James, what's going on? Dell, let's take a look. Let me get a sip of tea here. Dell, yeah, wow, interesting move on this one. Who Dell's making a comeback. Look at this. From where was it a long time ago? Like nowhere. But yeah, so it's pushing up to fresh highs in this one. I guess Dell's still selling some computers. So not quite the volume I like to see, but a decent candle on that. So let's see if it gets any follow through there. Ford, good company. Again, just kind of chopping around right here. It was looking pretty interesting the other day. I like this bull flag kind of breakout right here. We kind of came back and retested it, right? So see if it can work its way up there. It still has measured move potential to the upside here to get to that kind of $12.50 level. So see how that goes on Ford. Square again with the after hours news. Let's see where it gaps up to. But again, watch out for a potential pullback on that one if it can't gap over any major levels. Penn. Again, great candle today. I love how it broke out of that consolidation. Would like to have seen a little bit more volume on it, but still pretty decent there. And then bullish and bearish. Yeah, let's take a look at Mr. Softy. So over the 80 man, that one with a hammer. So let's see if we get any further push up on that one. It had some pretty strong action today. It was at one point it was one of our favorite names in the morning. Kind of lost steam a little bit later. But let's see if we can go. It's got that nice gap above. See if we can get into it. So Ravi, yeah. So SE again. Yeah, just again, I like how it's a doji reversal here off of its geometric line. It's good stuff there too. Ron, what's going on? Yeah, Chewy. So Buddy was back to buying today. So a little bit of a hammer here, back over the 50-day moving average. Nice doji off the cloud. I think Buddy wants it over the 80 MA though, so we're going to keep an eye on that one there too. Net. Hanging in there, still below the 80 MA, but a nice pusher there. If we can get over the 80 MA, right, you got that gap fill potential on it. And then Okta, again, a lot of these software names have earnings coming up, so just kind of keep an eye on it, see how Vive goes, see how this one goes, and see if the sector moves a little bit. Can you next time show the correlation between VIX and SPY? Yeah, so typically, Ron, they're basically inversely correlated for the most part. But a lot of times, sometimes the VIX will give you a little bit of a lead on the SPY, on the SPX, right? So that can help you, right? So just a real quick example, right? If we just kind of pull up SPY right here, right? And I just pull up a study here, add study. I'm just going to add the VXX. I'm just going to do a compare with right here. Similar, but they're both kind of similar, right? So you can see here, right? So as SPY moves up, right, you can see the inverse correlation right here. So, and then SPY dropped, right? The VIX spiked, right? So, and here, right? So here, SPY dropped again, the VIX spiked, right? And then we got up today and the VIX kind of dropped. So you can see there's typically a very good inverse correlation. Now, when we're day trading, a lot of times we can see some anomalies, like we'll be looking at the VIX and we'll be like, wow, VIX is really kind of spiking here, but the SPY hasn't moved yet. And sometimes it takes a little bit for the SPY to catch up to it. So that can help a little bit, give you some clues intraday. So hopefully that helps a little bit. It's good stuff. And the Nest, wow, let's take a look. So the now, yeah, wow, with an inside day. Did I still have this on here? Let me remove that. Sorry, I thought I took that off. Okay, cool. So wow, with a nice inside day up today, but I like how it tested the bottom too. It's actually a pretty bullish setup on that one. IQ. Again, nice inside day right here. Again, let's see if it's back over the 80 MA. It had a crazy move after earnings, right? Big candle right there, but it's kind of been contained in that range for a while. But see if that inside day will work its way out. CF. Hey, in there, upper shadow ended up closing below the 80 MA, so a little bit worrisome there. SDC hasn't quite bounced yet, but I do like how it's holding onto this channel right here. It does like to bounce off of this, right? So we had a bounce here. We're kind of testing this again. So see how it holds. We got earnings coming up. So see how the earnings goes. Bottom of the channel, earnings. Who knows? Maybe it'll bounce all the way to the top after earnings. So definitely let's track that and see what it does to the earnings on that one. LFMD again, just kind of blah here after its IPO, but it's still defending the lows, which is nice. And then MOS. Hanging in there over the 80 MA on this one, so let's see if we can stay there again. But I'd like to see a little bit of volume coming out of this. Decent close today. A little bit more strength would have been nice. James, so we think the XLF, XLE can continue strength. They're tired. We should look elsewhere for bullishness. Also thoughts on the XLU. Yeah, so the XLF, I mean, you just can't give up on it right now. I mean, it pulled up today pretty nicely, held the market up pretty well. Fed was pretty confident about it, so I mean, it could continue to keep going. So I think we can definitely look at it. The XLE, again, hanging in there, not as much as the XLF, but potential doji reversal off of this, and we'll see how it goes on it. A lot of times, energy names can be flight to safety type stuff, but like the XLU, right? Because people like to go to these for like municipal type bonds and things like that. But you can see here as the market's been working its way up, the XLU's kind of been bleh, right? So let's see how it goes, but maybe it'll be some rotation into it if the market starts to pull back. So good stuff there. Mark, what's going on in Nvidia? Let's take a look. So Nvidia, again, has kind of been chopping around right here. It tried to take the inside day up, but really didn't do much with it, right? So it may come back down. If we lose today's lows, I think there's a good chance that we test the inside day low. So that's a possibility on that one there, too. Yeah, Wi-Fi went to hi-fi. I love it. It's totally social distance with the other kid. I love it. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful move on that one. Hindenburg short and distort. There you go. Exactly. People must be sure to say, yeah, Hindenburg, exactly. There you go. He's going down. So, group play today. Watch this 100% six other trade. I love it. And the best trade of the day, epic. It's fantastic. I love it. Josh, yeah, Chewy again. Same thing right there. Again, nice bounce off the cloud. It was a nice doji off the cloud right there. So let's see if we get some follow through on that one. Cherry, what's going on? Wayfair, huge candle day. Beautiful move, right? Now let's see if we get some follow through on that one, right? So, but wouldn't be surprised if we see a pause day or two. But sometimes it does like to move. Sometimes it does do like a three white soldiers type setup. Penn, again, we looked at a little bit ago. We got out of this consolidation. The volume is not really too exciting. And CRM, when is this thing going to bounce, right? So, well, my theory is that it's probably going to, or potentially going to retest the bottom of this channel right here. So we got earnings coming up. Earnings already came, right? They had a beat on earnings right here. So I would like to see it, just kind of see if we can hit this area right here and then maybe try to work its way back up to the top of the channel. So I'm kind of tracking that. So good stuff. James, so you wonder how frequently Kathy slides into option chains? I know, yeah, exactly. So I wonder exactly how they position themselves around their options. So they disclose their stock trades and don't have to disclose their options trades. I guess they didn't do that one. Reed Square, we won't even talk about it. Exactly. Yes, Dkng, yeah, exactly. So again, great breakout candle here today. It's drifting up after hours. So hopefully anybody who did get long today on this big breakout candle is, we'll get some follow through on it. For us, it's a little bit tough, right? Because we see so many examples where it just kind of pauses there and chops up premium. So let's see what it does tomorrow. Again, we might have continuation tomorrow. If we do, we'll take a look at it and see if it gives us an intraday setup. So good stuff there. Oh yeah, it's all good, James. Appreciate it. Ron, awesome. Michael, yeah, CRM looks like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it looks just like the Regeneron channel. So, and Regeneron was tricky, wasn't it? Right? I mean, at one time it looked like it, and Regeneron's so hard to trade too. CRM's not exactly the easiest one either. But yeah, look at that Regeneron. It ended up getting all the way back to the top of the level right here. It hit our balance level right there before going, and then it pulled back. But a really impressive move. This one was the one we thought was going to go, right? And it only gave you one day, and it's kind of blah. But then it did this, and then everybody just stops looking at it. And then see ya, have a nice one, right and back. So let's see how that goes. Again, Regeneron again pulling back to pretty cool stuff. Never broke out though. Never broke out. So good stuff. But yeah, great find on that one. Great reminder. I love it. Well, good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. I hope everybody had a good show, enjoyed the show tonight. If you're new here, be sure to click subscribe on YouTube. And whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button. It goes a long way. We always appreciate it. So, again, guys, we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. So we'll have the bubble report out tomorrow for our subscribers, and we'll see you in the Discord. And even if you're not in our group, we'll still see you guys here on YouTube and in Twitter for our Good Morning Market Prep video and some of our market prep stuff. So really appreciate it. Hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe.